Being different requires humility, truth, and a willingness to speak God's truth. But perhaps the greatest mark of being different is a willingness to serve others. Few things mark us as different from the world, like our willingness to serve others rather than be served. God calls his people to be different, but being different is not as easy as it sounds. Christians have long understood that we live and walk along a delicate line. We are to be in the world, all things to all people, as Paul put it, yet not of the world. We are a chosen people, holy and set apart from the world's ways, but to pull it off, to be truly different, means we must each hold fast to the truth, speaking it when needed, all while humbling ourselves and faithfully serving others. It's not always easy, but being different is our calling. We began this series by looking at how humility is required for us to be different. Humility is the doorway to recognizing truth and to our willingness to speak truth when needed. But if you're not careful, even these good things don't exclude you from the potential of becoming self-centered. The world teaches us to use every tactic to our own advantage. Even humility and the acquisition of truth can be warped into badges we wear to prove ourselves and gain recognition. Jesus' disciples faced the temptation to gain recognition the wrong way as well. In one Bible story, James and John's mother asked Jesus for a favor, that her sons might have the positions of honor, sitting at Jesus' right and left in his kingdom. The other disciples caught wind of it and were indignant. Who were James and John to make such a request? Were they better than them? It sounds like our world, doesn't it? Remember, these are Jesus' closest followers. They have witnessed Jesus' miracles and heard him teach. Their request sounded good. Who wouldn't want to sit next to Jesus in his kingdom? But Jesus tried to explain they didn't realize what they were asking. They didn't understand. They didn't recognize how Jesus' kingdom was different from the world's. It wasn't about power or recognition, honor, or special access. In this world, Jesus explained, rulers lord over people. They flaunt their authority and achievements. They set themselves apart from others. The motive of Jesus' disciples may have seemed good to them. They wanted prominence in his kingdom. But Jesus recognized that they were acting just like the world. Instead, Jesus explained, even the Son of Man came not to be served, but to serve others and to give his life as a ransom for many. What the disciples had failed to recognize is that Jesus didn't want them seeking those things, prominence, power, or position. His kingdom doesn't work the same way as the world's. So he humbled himself, became like us, so that he might serve us. When you recognize Jesus' humility, that he humbled himself to serve you, it destroys the way this world teaches us to serve ourselves. How could we receive what Christ has freely given us and then go on to promote ourselves and make demands of others? When you recognize the truth, when you understand how radically different Jesus is from the world, it humbles you and it frees you to give your life in service for others. This is the way of Jesus. This is the way of his truth. He came not to be served, but to serve. So we serve him by serving others as well. That is what made Jesus different and what makes us different. Do you recognize how Jesus came to serve you? Do you recognize how different his way of life is from the world's? How can we learn to be different by serving others? How does it free us from the weight of self-promotion and our need to be served? How will you serve others?